Uh-oh. Oh boy. Well, hey everyone, and welcome back to WolfQuest. Pups, please stay in the grass. We've got coyotes. Pele, go back in the grass. Pele, back in the grass. Back in the grass. Did Loki find them? Oh, there's only one. All right, you get... Oh, no, there's two. There are two. You get out. You get out. All right, at least they're easy enough to chase off. But yeah, welcome back to WolfQuest, where we are here with Petra, Loki, and the Steadfast pups. Last time, Petra made the decision that she does not want to go back to the cattle ranch after encountering once again some very frightening noises. Fortunately, she and Loki have still been able to feed the pups, but even though Tyken's now up to 20 pounds, they're quite hungry again. So let's go get Loki and have him come with us. We can leave the pups, well... Actually, maybe we should play with them a little bit more and possibly leave Loki home. Loki is, of course, the wolf who's been hanging out with Petra while she's here in Lost River after getting separated from her mate and other pups. She was carrying these pups when she got lost, and so she had to settle down here in Lost River for a time to raise them, and Loki's been helping her out, despite being a pretty young wolf who wasn't quite ready to disperse himself, and who is, in fact, not a pure wolf, but a wolf dog. So Loki had been out on his own, surviving mostly off the cattle ranch, but things got a little rough for him when the cows started to get older and the calves were no longer easy prey. And it seems like since he was hunting at the ranch last year, the rancher has taken a few extra precautions to make it much harder for any wolves to do the same this year. So Petra's decided that the ranch is not the most viable of options anymore. And although I'm not entirely sure if Loki is convinced, she's made up her mind about not wanting to heck around there. But fortunately, the pups are almost grown, even though only 2 of the 5 have made it this far. We had some real problems with illness as well as with eagle attacks, and Petra is definitely beginning to fear that Lost River has some different illnesses than the ones that she's used to. It's definitely making her reconsider the idea of staying here if she and her pups make it to the point of being able to seek out Charon and can find him again. She's certainly hoping they will, and they're quite close. Once the pups are 20 pounds, they'll be able to travel, and I imagine Loki may stay with them for a time. But I do think Petra's realized that this might mean goodbye. At some point, after all, Loki does have to disperse. And although he may stay with her to make sure she's able to find Charon again, he needs to find his own mate now that he's old enough. Hello? Just fell down a cliff. We found some pyrite. Interesting. I suppose we'll bring that back to the pups here in case they're interested in it. That's pyrite is what's also known as fool's gold because it looks a lot like gold, but it isn't. So let's take Loki though. We will go mark some territory around here. I think we've still got some areas that are a little bit shaky on the territory marking, so we do well to keep those up, even if we're not going to be staying at this rendezvous site for very long. Oh, I think the babies are running. It looks like it's the time of year when the babies are up and moving about, so they're not going to be hiding anymore. Do you? No, you are interested in attacking us. Okay. Oh, Loki got a good bite, though. Ooh, look out, though. Okay, okay. All right. Loki's definitely learning, and between the 2 of them, they should be able to bring down this fawn. That's good. Let's actually bring this back to the pups, probably. I do think that even in preparation of Loki eventually dispersing, Petra's feeling more confident. He did miss out on a lot of time learning from his own family, but he's picking things up quickly. And even though at one point he had to be pretty much fully reliant on hunting the cows, or rather the calves, which were easily weak enough for him to take down, this is an incredibly steep drop, oh goodness. He's been doing a lot better. He's been learning to help out in a lot of other hunts, and although his enthusiasm and inexperience has occasionally gotten in the way, he's been doing better. She's really proud of him for how much he has learned over this past half a year or so. coming up on a full year, actually, that they'll have spent together. And she really does see him as a son, even if he's a little bit old to be her biological child. He's about a year older than her own pups, who are, as far as she's aware, back with Charon still. He's about a year older than they would have been. Alright, now that the pups have been fed, it's time to find a little bit more food and mark some more territory, because Loki's still pretty hungry and Petra is a little bit. And she wants to take this time, now that he's not hurt anymore, to make sure that he's just that extra bit more prepared. He certainly has had some experience hunting during the fall and spring, but she does want to make sure that he's going to be ready to disperse. Her pups have always been a priority, but she wants to guarantee his survival as much as she can theirs. And although this world is harsh and sometimes she's not able to ensure that, she wants to give him the best chance that he can, especially since he missed out on so much experience with his birth pack. So she's gonna dedicate a little time here, I think, to helping him make sure that he is... That's just a fox. That he's gonna be alright, even when he sets out on his own this coming fall. Oh, there's... Oh, you're not a fawn, but I did see one. And I don't know where Loki got off to. Oh, there he is. Okay. I can find my way back up on this road. Ah, well played, Mama Mule Deer. You did push me down a slope, but... Yes, right up here. One of you has a baby that will make for a very good snack. Oh, I see right up here. Is that a buck? No, it's just the ears on one of the toes. All right. Oh, ouch. Gonna take some damage there. All right, yeah, she is too fast for us to do a sneaky bite there, but if we distract, then maybe Loki can get some bites in. He's still going for it. Did he finish it? Yep, there we go. Good work, Loki. That's a tactic maybe you can use to your advantage when you find a mate of your own. A tactic of distraction. Sometimes it pays to get a bite or two on the mother just to keep her from running in and interfering. Yeah, that's right. You deserve that confident tail. I think Petra's feeling pretty good about his chances of survival. He's battled with inexperience this whole time, but overall, he's doing pretty darn well. And she thinks he's now going to be a little bit more ready to set out on his own. Oh, I smell the gold herd somewhere over this way. I think we can manage to not mark that one particular hexa territory for one more day. If we can follow the rest of that scent, although it's quite distant. Ah, over here. That might give us one last good little hunting experience. I think the slightly older babies should be back with their herd now if the mule deer fawns are. So this will be another good experience of just another option that Loki has to make use of throughout the year. I don't know, he may just not have realized that this food was available to him because he mostly survived off the cows and just lived right near the ranch, hunting the calves there. But this is a much better food source in Petra's opinion. Once these little babies show up, they're not hard to hunt, even though Loki may have been a little too intimidated to try the previous year. She just wants to make sure he's as prepared as he can be, so that when he sets out on his own, he'll be able to find a lovely lady, she hopes, and settle down, start a pack, have his own pups, as any wolf would want to. Oh, Loki, we're gonna have to make this one quick. The herd's right here, but the pups are about ready to leave. Alright. Well, this is gonna be a bit of a hasty lesson, but I do see the babies. They're not that strong. Gotta find one that's a little bit separated. This one's gonna be a good option, I think. It looks like Loki's already caught on. The mother's right here, but if we can just quickly deal some damage, at least they're running back in the general direction of the, oh, careful, Loki. These guys are a little harder to distract. Oh, he's taking on the distraction tactic. Look at you putting what you've learned to good use. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Another bite should do it, but we're out of stamina. Good job, Loki. That, I think, has given Petra a lot of confidence. He just learned that tactic, and already he's able to use it to his own advantage. Loki, I think you're about ready. I don't imagine he'll disperse until later in the summer or early in the autumn, but she's not too worried about him holding his own when he does. Whew, just in the nick of time, but we did make it back. Hello, pups. I suppose I'll give you a little food, and then I think we'll settle down for the night. Even Pele's getting pretty close to 20 pounds, and when we do it, when both of them are at 20 pounds, we'll be able to leave the rendezvous site behind and go searching for Charon and the pups again. They'll be not quite ready to disperse. They'll be coming up on it for the next year, so hopefully they're all still with him. Petra's hoping he's managed to raise them well, even on his own. She wishes she could be back there to help, but, well, life takes turns you don't always expect, and she's thankful that turn gave her the chance to help Loki out, because he needed it too. Life's funny that way. But we're gonna go ahead and rest, and we'll see what morning brings. One more morning is here, and Pele's quite close. So I think we'll spend a little bit of time around the rendezvous site, perhaps, just making sure that these two are prepared for what we're about to do. It's gonna be a long journey. Petra's not really even sure where they're going. She'll have to be guided by instinct alone, and oh, Loki... Looks like Loki's headed off on his own for a bit of a solo adventure. I suppose that's alright. He's probably eager to prove himself, maybe mark some of that territory. Speaking of territory, why is the hex over here not well marked? Is it close enough? Yeah, it's close enough that I can just hurry and pee here. Loki looks to be moving quickly. I wonder if he's noticed something. I hope he returns soon. We're gonna have to leave in not that much longer. And we can't actually regurgitate, hey, Pele, be nice to your brother. Don't bite him that hard. Oh my goodness. It's surreal, I think, to Petra, to think that they actually made it this far. It seems like almost an impossibility in the dead of winter. Especially with Loki being as young and inexperienced as he was. Certainly he was a great help, but Petra still had to do a lot on her own. But Pele and Tychon made it, and as much as she wished that all the others could have too, I think she's grateful that she didn't lose the whole litter, especially with how rough that sickness ended up being. These two seem quite boisterous, though. They must be ready to get out and stretch their legs, and hopefully Charon is still searching. Hopefully he hasn't given up on her. She couldn't spend the entire spring and summer. Oh, he's got the pyrite! Sir, that is an incredibly large rock. That rock's almost as big as your... It's bigger than your head, I think. Oh my goodness. But it's almost time for you guys to meet your dad. I bet that's something they've all been looking forward to. And I think Petra hopes that Loki will be able to, too. He's part of the family now, after all, even if Charon doesn't know about him yet. But after all his help, because to be honest, without it, they may not have survived this. I think Petra wants to make sure that he has the chance to meet Charon too, before he ends up setting out on his own. Oh, what are these scents? Oh, are the cows out? Well, of course, now we can smell them from here, now that it's no longer helpful. But these guys are a little hungry. We don't actually have enough food to feed them, so I think, Pele, please don't wander so far away. Goodness gracious. I think Petra may actually step away for a minute as well, just to see if she can find something to feed them. Pele is quite close. And maybe we'll see if we can find where Loki's gotten off to as well. There he is. He's right down here, and I think he's been dutifully attending to the territory. We helped mark some of it up there, but he looks like he's gone to the parts that we haven't been headed towards. Are you picking fights at the Bull Elk? I do hope not. Those might be a little bit outside of your hunting skill, even with how well you've been doing. Ah, Loki. It's gonna be hard to say goodbye, and I do wonder if that's why you came out here by yourself. It's not quite time yet, but it is something I think both of them are aware is on the horizon. Petra hopes he doesn't feel unwelcome to come with them. She's sure she can convince Charon to, if not accept him into the pack as a whole, at least to meet him kindly, even if he only stays for a little while. But I imagine there could be some nerves there for Loki, especially considering how poor his experience with other wolves has been, given his half-wolf, half-dog ancestry. Petra really does hope that he'll at least get to meet Charon, but I think she would assure him again that even when the time does come for him to venture off by himself, he'll do all right. She's quite sure of it. Oh, perfect. We've stumbled on one last set of mule deer here. I suppose we'll bring back a little extra food for the pups. And between these two, it wasn't hard for them to bring that down. Loki, you've done well. And even though this journey is something I think both of them are looking towards with some amount of anxiety, Petra wondering if they'll really be able to find Charon at all, and Loki harboring some concerns over what might happen if they do, I think they're gonna be alright. Alright, pups, dinner's here. And we'll want to eat up because it's about time to head out. In fact, it looks like we're leaving right after they finish eating. Oh, wow. What a journey it has been. Oh, and look at Loki rolling. Oh. But even though it was a year with a lot of losses and a lot of big, unexpected challenges, these guys were able to survive and overcome it, with two of the pups alive when Petra wasn't sure if any of them would survive at all. She's got a lot to be proud of and a lot to be thankful for, and very high up the list on both of those is Loki himself. He's grown so much over this past year almost, and whatever comes next, Petra's confident that he will face it with the same eagerness and the the same tenacity, but hopefully a bit more experience at least than he's had this whole time. And with that, I think we're going to go ahead and leave this off here, so we'll have to see what becomes of the pack for the next year. Unfortunately, whatever it will be, Loki probably won't be the one to be here for it, but don't worry. He's shown himself to have quite a bit of charm in the time that we've known him, and although his journey with the Steadfast pack may be drawing to an end, I think his own story is only just beginning. Don't forget, too, that if you love Petra and you've been interested in the sticker designs that have been coming out on Ko-fi, Petra has one now, so if you're interested in that, you can find a link to it in the video description. Petra is just one of many designs. We've got a lot of our other wolves, from Maple to Dante, to quite a few of the other notable wolves from across the generations, with more to be added in the near future, so definitely keep an eye out for that. And with that, we'll go ahead and bring this story to a close. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. But until then, this is Jay. Over and out.